Hello, and welcome to another episode of Geekly Revealed. It's that show that brings you geeky news on a weekly basis, and we talk about good old pop culture stuff. As always, it's me, it's your host, Dom, aka Brother Dom, all over the internet. And once again, I am joined by the superb co-host. Would you like to tell the people who you are?
Hey all, it's me, Stephanie, aka Captain Steph on Twitter, the Snowqueer on Tumblr, and Amaterasu, mother of us all, and source of all that is good.
You played a video game, Steph, huh?
I did.
You're starting to become you're starting to become a hardcore gamer from what I've been hearing, mostly from you.
Yeah,
but
that's totally me.
I mean, what was it? You just completed Okami today, right?
Yeah, I just finished the first time playing through. I probably will. I'm still deciding whether I'm going to go through again and try to hit more of the side quests and stuff, but it was fun. It was like exactly the level of difficulty that I wanted from a game. Like, it had bosses that were challenging to fight, and you had to know what you're, like, kind of figure out what you were doing and have, like, be able to use all of your different abilities well, but you also, nothing was prohibitively hard.
Good. So challenging without being controller breaking.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, that's a deep cut of a game. I mean, I know it's loved and rated highly, but I don't think it's a very popular game in that sense. You know, I don't think a ton of people know about it compared to like your Marios or your Crashes or your Spyros and stuff. So you just going through the niche stuff, cult classics.
Yeah.
But other than that, how you been? What's how's things been going up in Steph Land?
Things have been going all right. It's been a chiller week and weekend than last weekend was, I feel like. So
what was last weekend? I mean, oh yeah, the cat's disaster. This was a much different weekend. Yeah, I'm hanging out too. Just kind of had a chill weekend. My partner and I started watching Haikyuu, the volleyball anime.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty Haikyuu. I thought so, but I wasn't sure. It's good. I like it. It's very fun. There's so many good anime out there. I need to watch more and more of them. Sadly, My Hero Academia, the dub is even another episode behind. So it's not really a simul dub anymore. It's just a quicker than back in the 90s dub. But now that it's like 2 episodes behind, it's like, okay, that's cool. That's fine. But the sub is going, so we're just watching some other stuff. Like I said, watching Haikyuu. Watching the Persona 5 anime, actually. That's fun. I can't imagine following that without have seen the game, because some of this stuff, it just happens. You're like, yo, why did this happen? But it's pretty cool. You have any plans for the big game this weekend?
The big game? I have zero plans for the big game. We were going to watch the Puppy Bowl earlier, but I was playing Okami on the TV as opposed to in the handheld, so the God Puppy
instead of like a regular puppy.
Yeah, so it was more of the God Puppy situation.
Nothing wrong with that. Gonna go to a bar with some friends and hang out. It's gonna be my last hurrah before dry February that I always do.
Nice.
I like to do a dry February every year. Ever since 2014, I want to say. Just because I was at home a lot. I didn't have a job yet. It's how time rotates. But it was I was drinking like my dad's beers and stuff because he was recently getting into craft beer, and I was just sitting around drinking every day, and I wasn't getting drunk or anything, but I was like, am I developing a habit or a problem? Like, is this getting unhealthy? Let me just stop drinking for a month and make sure I can go 30 days without it, without like, oh no, I need a beer.
I did that last.
What'd you do, January last year?
I did April last year because I had like a bunch of weird things getting in the way, like. So not to make excuses for myself, but like I was going on vacation at the end of March last year, so I wanted to wait until April to do
that's not so bad though.
The drinking
ban
thing.
You could do it in December, you could do it in January, and you could do it any month, but it's like, I'm not at the point in my life where I have a problem, so it's not like I have to stop today. But I do want to give it so if I know I'm gonna have like a big event, like a few events in a month, like, why go to those and not drink? Like, it's just kind of part of the social aspect of it. And it just feels like an unnecessary stressor to, like, if you want to do it for a detox reason or just for, like, a pace-breaking reason, there's no need to do it during the months when you were where it's going to be like, oh man, I really wish I could drink with everybody else. And I guess maybe that's the test, but I'm not here to like deprive myself of something that's like kind of fun, that's unnecessary, you know.
Yeah.
But always drink responsibly, cut things out when you can. But also in February, it's Black History Month, which is a very important month, especially now more than ever, since the world is getting further and further away
from God's light,
from trying to be good. So, you know, if you know any of your Black creators, go support them a little bit more so than normal. If you can, obviously, if you have disposable income. If you don't, then, I mean, no pressure. But if you have money to support people, I'd give it a shot for your Black creators of all genders, sexualities, denominations, and all that. If you're not for all of us, then you're for none of us. That kind of stuff. And if you don't have any, you know, Black creators in your content rotation, you know, give it a shot. Go check it out. You know, it's not to tokenize people, but I don't think anyone's going to be upset about getting another viewer or patron or anything like that. A lot of good creators out there, you know. And I know a lot of people watch YouTubers and don't have like a Black YouTuber that they watch. And something that I saw our friend of the show, Tanya DePass, say is that it was part of a thread that she was involved in, and different people said different things, but one thing is not to just randomly tag people like, hey, here's like 50 Black people you can follow their tabletop stuff, like so why would I follow any one of these people? Should I just follow at random? That's kind of a bad thing to do, so don't just like tag a bunch of people. And the other thing is not to tag the same people for the same thing every time. I was watching a T1J video. If he's like, hey, you know, when you're adding Black YouTubers to your list or recommendations, it shouldn't just be like, hey, you should really follow T1J or Cat Black. Like, okay, we should, but there's more than 2 Black YouTubers out there. So, you know, just kind of diversify that if you can. For instance, you know, your friendly neighborhood brother Dom could always use some views and stuff. But yeah, so, you know, just putting that out there and all the kinds of different stuff. Yeah, but besides that, I mean, that's kind of the current events of life. Do we want to talk about some pop culture stuff?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, I mean, the Sonic movie's still coming out, so keep your eyes open for that.
Yeah, cannot wait. Buckled in, ready to go.
And spoiler alert, not really a spoiler, but spoiler for this episode of Geekly Reveal, we're not going to do a My Hero recap today because we're not really caught up on it properly. So we're
working.
Yeah, we'll do like sections of it probably at some point. But good news, the tickets are on sale for the movie.
Oh hey!
In America, we got ours today. My partner and I. We're gonna see the dub, but it's gonna be in a theater, so that's pretty cool. Like February 26th, like some Wednesday, I think is when most of the showings are. It's dubbed and subbed, so I don't know. It looks pretty interesting. It's always kind of weird that they do stuff that's the way that they're airing episodes is. It's like, oh, it happened before this season. It's like, so there's gonna be stakes, but like we know nobody major is going to get hurt because they have to exist for season 4. So it's like, oh no, is Eraserhead gonna die? Like, no, he clearly won't. Oh man, is All Might gonna get hurt? Like, no, probably not. Like, but it'll still be fun, you know. It's good to have these outside adventures. Are you excited to see it?
Yeah. I haven't seen the first one. This is the second one, right?
Yes.
I haven't seen the first one, but yeah, I'll probably check it out.
It was interesting because I thought that you needed to see that before season 4, and I guess you didn't. But they have a quirk amplifying tool in that thing, and it seems to work a little better than Overhaul's drug did. Like it's just completely a ridiculous amount, but I think it gets either confiscated or taken away or something. But it's something that the heroes have to deal with, obviously. Basically, just like a big punch man. I mean, you know, it's all good. A lot of funny stuff, cool costumes. Bakugo wears a suit. Snappy dresser, that kid.
Snappy dresser.
What else do we have on the dock? That's all I have with like My Hero Academia, you know, my favorite anime.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, I can talk about some like fandom spice.
Let's talk about fandom spice. I think the kids probably aren't saying sip the tea anymore, are they? That's
probably not.
Cool. Maybe it'll go back to the people who started it, which isn't me, but yeah, what do we want to talk about? Oh, we could before that, we could talk about Grammy results at some point if you want to. Let's see how the episode goes.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. So the fandom spice that I was going to I guess you can't. Well, you can spill spice, I guess.
You can dust spice.
Sprinkle some spice onto our podcast.
Like Salt Daddy, Salt Bay, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Salt Daddy, oh no.
Oh no. So Sebastian Stan has joined the ranks of people who don't give a shit that Disney is the one signing their paychecks. Even, I think, more boldly than Oscar Isaac and John Boyega, because he is still receiving active employment from Disney. But it all began last week when some, like, Marvel UK and Ireland or something, some Instagram post, posted something, like, that was, like, with you to the end of the line or something like that, and, of, like, a picture of, like, little baby, like, first movie Steve with Bucky with his arm around him, and someone had commented below and was like, bullshit, like, if Marvel hadn't completely assassinated their friendship's character arc in the last couple movies, this would have, like, ring more true.
But they say, like, end it to the end of the lie or something?
Yeah, exactly. And Sebastian Stan posted a screen cap of it to his Instagram story, and it was, like, with no comment, just, like, and it took me a while, like, people were posting this picture, and, like, it had a white background, and, like, the text, the, like, username text is in white with, like, a little shadow on it in the picture, so the first couple times I saw it on Twitter, I was like, what is this? And then it, like, realized, oh, Sebastian Stan himself posted this.
That's, I appreciate the shade, and then what was it, John Boyega's like, hey, welcome to the club, man.
Yeah, I was like, welcome to the club, Mr. Stan, like...
It's so
which
bad.
at first I was like, is this this tweet from John Boyega, like, a comment on this actual situation, and is he actually speaking to Sebastian Stan, or is this just, like, a tweet out of context of John Boyega trolling someone else and calling them Mr. Stan on Twitter, because Twitter is full of people who would call themselves Stans.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know. I hope it was him just adding fuel to the fire, because, yeah, so much has come out about, like, how he's had to be. Apparently he got, like, had to get, like, PR training because people thought he was too angry or aggressive or something, which, of course.
Ooh, yeah, because, of course.
And, you know, my bias, like,
yeah,
very, like, quite, but for me, it's, like, and this is also problematic, but it's not racist, at least, is that, like, British voices just sound a little bit smooth to me, so it's, like, and he has, like, a very soothing voice because of his accent, you know?
Uh-huh.
So to say that he was aggressive, like, I can't imagine anything there besides racism.
This is the most, like, chill guy in the whole world.
Like, the most chill guy, at least, that was on Star Wars.
Yeah.
Had, like, the least, like, angry things ever said from them. Maybe Daisy Ridley, but I could see her, like, having a little bit of, like calling you out, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Not, like, in a bad way, like, you know, something you deserved, but John Boyega would be like, hey, bro, it's cool. You know, like...
Yeah.
But that makes me sad that, you know, people gave him such a hard time.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Kelly Marie Tran as well. They didn't do her any favors.
Yeah, for real.
I'm still...
Nor did J.J. Abrams, not to derail the conversation entirely, but...
Yeah, we could have... you know, J.J. Abrams really should be lauded, though, for, like, bringing two sides of the fandom together. Like...
The Raylos and the Finpos come together to hate J.J. Abrams.
Not only them, but, like, the bigots who thought that Rey was a Mary Sue and then, like, got mad at Kelly Marie Tran specifically for the character. Like, as if she wrote it and decided to, like, try to ruin Star Wars or anything and not just an actor. Those shitty people, but also the people are like, oh, no, I love these movies. Like, those guys need to relax. And JJ's like, what if I could stop the fighting? All I have to do is make a really weird movie. Because I haven't seen the toxicity around this movie, and that's wild. But you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Good old Bucky. The real romance, Bucky. I mean, you know, till the end of the line, but the real romance is between Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
It's that's the only possible one sticking around in this cursed new MCU.
That we
live in now.
You know, someone said, it may have been my partner, we were talking about how they should have put like if Kylo Ren would have had like a redemption arc, you could have did like the same jokes as like Bucky and Falcon. Like,
yeah.
hey man,
Oh,
this
man.
this TIE fighter's a little tight. Could you move your seat up? And Finn's like, no.
No.
just reuse the jokes. Like, who's gonna sue them? Disney? Like, it's fine.
Disney gonna sue himself over copyright infringement.
Like, I don't know. If I was a multi-bajillion-dollar business, I would like reuse some of my jokes. For like, if I'm gonna take over the world, I'm gonna try to give people some fun while I'm there. You know, like.
For real.
If you're gonna take over the world, let the X-Men be in the Avengers at least. Like, at least make the dystopia pretty.
Yeah.
I don't know. More black and female prison guards.
Hey.
What else do we got?
You want to tell me about your video game thing?
Yeah. So more sprinkling some spice. Yeah. Overwatch had a big developer update, like the first one in a long time. It's like, oh man, I forgot what Jeff looked like. The game's been pretty stale, and they've been trying to balance it. So the newest edition, so they had a developer update, and everyone was pretty sure it was coming at the end of the month. One streamer like winked at the camera, so everyone thought he knew something. And the developer's like, no, he didn't. This isn't coming to the game. I don't know why people think that. Like, he didn't even say that. What are you talking about? But we'll have something at the end of the month for you guys. So everyone was hoping it was Tuesday, but it was Thursday. So a couple little things, like we're gonna soon be able to like share replays to other people in a more coherent way. Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
No one could complain about that. It'll make content creators very happy, I think, is one of the things he said. They pledged to do balance updates more often, which will be great. We all need that because they're kind of slow with that. And as well as like their experimental changes, you know, like not bug fixes, but just like, hey, how does this feel to a player base? They're going to add that into the main client rather than the test client. So that means console players will get to participate in it too, and you know, maybe people with slower computers. So good news all around.
Nice.
But the big bombshell was they're going to add hero pools to the game, which is a very interesting way of banning heroes.
Yes, explain what this means to me.
Yeah, I was totally about to. It's like we were talking about before the podcast. Like there needs to be more video game literacy. And suffice it to say, I'm not going to go through everything because wow, that'd be a lot right now. But you know, basically, heroes are characters. You know who you play as in the game, and in Overwatch, only one person per team can play a certain character, which is fine. You know, and meta is basically what are the best heroes and compositions you could play to get the best results with technically the least amount of effort. Think of these like your formations on a sports field, or like in a like your chairs in a band or something, like first chair. You know, if you watch the sports anime, you know about positions. That's fine. It's perfect. I love this. Nerds are great. So what hero pools will be like kind of a pool of who you can choose from. Right now, there's a map pool in competitive, which means only certain maps will pop up randomly, either because some of them are disliked by the community or have major issues that the developers don't want to fix. So what a hero pool will be, how they're going to do it, each week they're going to decide a few heroes that are just going to be ineligible to play. In competitive only. On like the casual modes, you can do whatever you want still, but on competitive, you'll log on and maybe they'll say, oh, you know what, we've heard community feedback and we're not sure the best way to balance it, so Orisa's going to be unavailable, and May and Reaper, and maybe, I don't know, like Baptiste or something. So when you log on to play, those characters won't be able to be selected by either team, which is a very interesting thing. It's sort of a band-aid, like it's a very strong, powerful band-aid that'll really put it...
So,
go ahead.
I was going to say, does it force people to play outside their mains, kind of? Or like...
Yeah, so it forces people to play outside of their main if they main certain characters. Right now, we're not in too much of a position where the characters that people are calling to get banned are anyone's main. It's not like you're getting rid of like Genji or Reinhardt or something. And some people main Mei and Sigma and stuff, but Sigma hasn't been in the game long enough to be like anyone's sole character. If he was your sole character, you must have just started playing the game. In which case, you're not going to be that worse with anybody else. But a lot of it is just to make sure like dominant compositions don't work. So for instance, at the high level, and the problem is that there's a little bit of trickling from the high levels to low levels. People are tired of playing against two shield compositions, so it'll always be like Orisa and Sigma, and then you need to run like Hanzo and Mei. And then the supports actually are pretty diverse right now. There's top tier picks, but you can pretty much get away with anything as long as you know what you're doing and your team plays with you. But people are really just tired of shooting barriers all day long. And the developers are in a tough spot where if they make the barriers easier to circumvent, they become like, well, why even have them at all? And then people just won't play those characters. But if it's like, hey, you know what? We think that these characters are balanced, but there's not a way to like keep this character decent. We're just going to take them out for now. Rather than saying, oh, we're going to make their barrier crap this week and just fix it next week. Like, just take them out. I think one of the reasons was that, there's a lot of people are pointing this out, that sometimes there's a hidden meta, like a hidden composition you could run. We saw it in the finals of one of the stages last year where there's they called it GOATS composition, which was triple tanks, triple healers, nothing died until the ultimates popped up. No one could beat this composition, but then like Shanghai just came in and beat the best team with some weird composition that only had like one tank. People are like, wait, what are you doing? Like, and it's like, yeah, we could have ran this a long time ago, but no one thought of it, or no one was desperate enough to try something that off the wall. So sometimes if you just take one of these characters out and you can't run that composition, people will have to figure out something else to do. Sort of like that triple tank thing, triple support that was dominant for the whole last season almost. You could have ran that before the last season, really. I think Jeff Kaplan pointed out it was actually like a tier 2 team that figured out that composition. It wasn't the pro teams, because they don't have time to be creative. They have to practice what they know is the best. So it's kind of like the first team that tried like some weird gadget plays in football where they're like, hey, just put one dude over there and we're going to throw it to him and no one will be there and that'll work. It's like, oh, why would I have practiced that? I had to work on regular play. So it'll be pretty good, and they're bringing something like that into the pro scene. They're going to let the teams know about a week ahead of who's going to be banned for that week so they can practice with the limited time they already have. So a lot of debate. If you're interested in spice or shade, or like, because there is a lot, or like just hot goss around video games or theory crafting, now would be a good time to just like watch in on the Overwatch creators. It's pretty interesting stuff. Again, it is like it's a band-aid, but it's band-aids are very good at like covering wounds, so I mean this will keep people happy for a while. Not so much when someone's main gets banned, but I've been a big proponent that if you can only play one hero effectively, you're doing yourself and your team a disservice. If the other team decides to actually play against it, like if you've dedicated your whole life to playing Doomfist and you just wreck everybody, if the other team decides to have like a Brig and a Sombra and you can't play anybody else, your team's going to lose. So, there's stuff like that you can and can't do. It's whatever. It's kind of technical stuff, but yeah, that's the basis of what they announced. So everyone's looking forward to that. That'll be in place for the next competitive season. And again, if you're playing like Mystery Heroes or Arcade or Quick Play, you don't have to worry about this at all. And which a lot of people have been saying, like a lot of the content creators saying that Quick Play is the place to be right now because people get less stressed out about it and just kind of like dick around. So, hopefully the game lasts a long time. Again, Blizzard still hasn't like made things right from the Hearthstone incident, so I'm not super keen on giving them money, but like I'll still keep playing their product that I already paid for. Yeah, so that's all that stuff. Good old watching over.
It's like I feel like there's something very interesting to me that like they can, I guess like it's the human element of the fact that you have like so many like hundreds of thousands of people playing your game at any given time, like that you have to keep reintroducing new and different fixes for things. Like you would think like, oh, like this, like in like a standard, like if you're like thinking about like a scale, if like there's 2 on one side and 3 on the other side, if you put 1 on the first side, then it's fixed. But like there are so many different levers here that like
it's kind of like imagine a scale that wasn't just like 2-pronged, but like instead
imagine
3.
A scale that's like multi-dimensional.
Yeah. And then like think about something, you have a multi-dimensional scale, but like, okay, so you have a pile of rocks here, right? So imagine you add a rock to it, but for some reason that makes the wood heavier too. It's like, wait, why does it do that? Well, the rocks and wood have a good synergy together. It's like, wait, what does that mean? And it's a bad metaphor, but stuff like, like for instance, when Mercy was played a lot more, it's like, oh man, like Mercy shouldn't have this kind of res ability. Like she shouldn't be able to do this. Some people thought that. I thought she was fine in the beginning. It's like, okay, so we'll take that out because it's kind of the community doesn't like and it's really oppressive to fight against. She's being used in ways we didn't intend. It's like, okay, cool. You make Mercy a little bit weaker so some of the other healers play. But now, since you don't have Mercy, you don't have like the damage amplification anymore. So now the snipers aren't as good. So since the snipers aren't as good, you don't need to run barriers as much. So you can run really mobile stuff. So now that you can run mobile stuff, well, I don't need to play snipers. I'll just play Tracer. So now that Tracer's good, you don't want to play Zenyatta. It's like, oh, damn it. So if we make Mercy weaker, we've inadvertently made Tracer a badass and like almost really destructive. And it's like, well, we need that Zenyatta because he can heal from a distance around corners for like a couple seconds. It's like, okay, so you have like all this weird balance stuff. And it's like, well, how do we make something strong without making somebody else feel like garbage? And sometimes they're kind of bad at that. Like when they introduced Brigitte, I don't know how they thought that was the numbers on her were good. But that's pretty much what set the game into like a tailspin because they didn't change fast enough. Like I think if they would introduce the way she is now, it would have been good because she just stops like Winston, Genji, and Tracer without being so hard that no one can touch her. So, I think it's all about quick iteration. And like you said, the people element, because people will try things that don't make sense. Like I said, that 3 tank 3 support, no one would play that before because like you don't have enough damage. How are you supposed to win? And that sounds right until you're like, wait a minute. We don't have to kill anything. We just won't die. And if anybody comes near us, Reinhardt will smack him in the face with the hammer. And we have 2 barriers, so what are they going to do? Or like shields and stuff. It's like, oh, that's actually... This was a flaw with the game from launch, but nobody wanted to do it because everybody wanted to play damage characters. So it's really interesting how that kind of stuff works and ultimately fascinating. And like you said, the people element is... There's the other part because they assumed people would change characters to counter people. And people don't do that. Like, if they like their character, they'll just stay on that character despite the fact that everything would say the contrary. Like, the other team counters them, and the other 5 people on their team don't really support what they're doing. Like, a good example of that would be like, I don't know, say someone's playing Pharah, and the healers are Lucio and Moira. They can't really heal her in the sky, and the other team has like 4 snipers and long distance shots, like they call it hit scan. It's like, bro, you're getting countered and we can't help you, so why are you playing this character? No, man, I can make it work. I'm not doubting
Clearly you can.
No, I'm not doubting you as a person. I'm doubting the efficacy of your strategy. Kind of like in Haikyuu, where they're like, hey, we're just gonna spike the ball every time. Like, you're too short to do that. No, I promise I can do it. Like, no, actually you can't. Like, it's not your fault. Like, this guy's 6'7". Like, there's nothing you can do. So it's kind of like that. That's my big spiel. That went on longer than I thought, but,
It's okay. I was asking questions, encouraging you to continue, so...
I'm passionate. Yeah, and then, Overwatch League's coming back soon, so might do some content on that.
Some content.
Yeah, maybe do, like, a How to Watch series. Because the game's
I think that would be interesting.
difficult to watch if you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, because watching it just alone, I would be, like, struggling.
Yeah, it's...
to know what was happening.
Well, the hard thing is that I think as a sign of it is that like people will be playing the game like I can't see what's going on. There's too much flashing. Like I know what's going on, but I can't see it. At least with like League of Legends and like Dota and stuff, you might not understand what's going on, but you can see everything that's going on.
Yeah.
So like, oh man, that like there was 5 explosions right over there and a laser beam. Like I don't know what that means, but like.
But I can tell those are the things that happened.
Yeah. So I think there's some more stuff that could be done. So. At least the basics, so people like, even like when you're watching the pros, it's a lot of like looking at the screen and looking at the kill feed to see who's dying from what team, and like, okay, like now I know what's going on. But at least on the, hey, here's what each of these things mean. If you're watching it, here's like when to cheer, or like where's the tide of the battle, Like with fighting games, you might not be getting it right away, but you have a good idea of like who's losing and when someone has been like defeated in a round or lost a life or something, Everybody knows in Smash that big explosion means somebody is closer to losing. In a fighting game, when somebody just falls down and doesn't get back up, like I think I got it.
Yeah, like I figured it out.
Yeah, so might do something on that. But yeah, what else? Nice. We have like one more topic. It's a big gaming day. You are a gamer. What the hell, Steph?
Yeah, what the hell? When did I become a gamer? This is a gaming podcast now, I guess.
Oh man! So like when do
apologies, listeners.
When do we start hating women and minorities then?
I don't know. I have to like put some like black fabric over our mirrors. Just like forget what we look like.
Oh yeah. Okay. I was like, wait, what do you mean? Like we're gonna have like a big gamer moment. Yuck. But no,
yuck indeed.
You do have a gaming topic. You wanna hit?
I do.
Hit this up.
Yeah. So as avid listeners of our podcast will know, I am a person who still regularly plays Pokemon Go. And they just introduced a battle mode. And so they've had the ability to battle people on your friends list for a long time now. But it's been kind of glitchy, and the, like, you both have to be playing the game at the same time in order for the invite to go through, and so it's been, and there are, like, achievements you can unlock for having won like X number of battles in the same way that like catching X number of Pokemon or like trading over X number of distance like gets you like achievements. But like so like it's been an annoying process trying to achieve these because it's just such a flawed system.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But they just like this last week rolled out this new battle mode that instead of being a thing where you can only battle with your people on your friends list, you can now just go to the battle screen and enter it in matches of 5, but it's a different. It isn't like best 3 out of 5 kind of thing. Like if you start playing once you qualify to enter the battle mode, and so the first time you get it, like you can do it for free. The second time and above, you have to have walked 5 kilometers that day.
Oh.
And then immediately, like, you're able to go into the basic rewards tier and have battles. And, like, I don't know how often I'm going to do it because of that 5K, like, entry thing. But I think gaming-wise, it makes sense that it's that, because I think if it had been paywalled in any way, even if it was just, like, in-game coins, it would have been, like, there would have been a stink about it.
Yeah, you gotta, like, you gotta have systems like this where everyone can play it, but
there's some sort of...
You gotta have, yeah, like...
non-monetary...
Yeah, like, if everybody can't do it at least a little bit, it kind of... I know the goal is to make people give you money, but you want people to want to, not have to.
Yeah, exactly. So I've only played the first 5 battles because I have not, since Friday when it unlocked for me, walked 5 kilometers anywhere. But it's really nice, actually. It matches you up with literally anyone in the world to play against, which makes it a lot easier to find someone to play against than waiting for someone on your friends list of maybe a couple dozen people to be available.
Gives you, like, freedom to play the game a little bit more, even if it's, like, with
exactly.
random people. Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and it's nice, too. It's similar to, like, the training mode in Pokemon Go, or, like, when you were battling your friends. It actually doesn't... It doesn't knock... Like, even if your Pokemon are knocked out during the battle, when you are done with the battle, they're not knocked out anymore, so you don't have to burn items on, like, reviving them.
Okay, so it's like its own isolated thing.
Yeah, so, like, when you fight a Team Rocket or in a gym or in a raid, those battles do take away, like, health for real, and so you'll have to, like, either, like, use a revive or use some sort of healing potion afterward to get your Pokemon back up to max.
Yeah.
Everything. But yeah, in the, like, friendly battles, there's no, like, hit onto your HP, which is nice.
Well, that's cool. It does sound like, kind of like how in the mainline games, if you do, like, Link Cable battles, at least back when I was little, if you did, like, battles against your friends, those wouldn't count towards reality. And, like, you wouldn't, I don't think you would get experience for them even, but you'd be healed back when you left. But also you were in a Pokemon Center anyway, so you could just walk over there, so I guess it wasn't a big of a deal, but...
Yeah, let me see if I can tell. Don't know. I'm looking back in my journal, like okay, it only goes back till yesterday afternoon. I was gonna say, I look back at the... Oh no, it does. It gives you Stardust. It doesn't give you XP.
What does Stardust do?
So Stardust is, you need a certain amount of it to do trades, and you can also use it to power up Pokemon. So, like, if you have a certain number of candy, you also need a certain amount of Stardust in order to, like, increase your Pokemon's power level.
Okay. That makes sense.
So it increases both your HP and your combat points.
Ah, solid.
So yeah, and you can get it by catching Pokemon, you can get it by winning battles and stuff, but you get it in fairly large amounts, I guess, by winning these battles as opposed to, like, a gym battle or something like that.
Nice. To, like, fast track your progress.
Yeah.
That sounds good. I'm glad they added that. I'm glad this game is still getting support. Like, I keep saying it to people, but I really thought this game was going to die, like, after the first few months. Not like,
Oh yeah, definitely.
like, not that I hoped it would, but I just assumed like people aren't going to stay invested in this game. But like to see it still thrive, that makes me really happy.
Yeah, yeah. I have a 1.1 million XP left to get to level 40. At which point you still get XP, but they stop counting it.
Oh yeah, because they'll probably do an update where you can get a 60 or something eventually.
Yeah, it's been like level 40 has been the top level since I think the game rolled out.
So it's about time to up that because it's
Yeah.
it's almost 4 years old.
Yeah, yeah, and I think you would need to have 20 million total XP to get to that. But it's from 39 to 40 is 5 million.
Oh wow.
So so I've been at level 39 for a minute.
Yeah, what they need to do is, the world needs a little bit of peace and a little bit of like love, and people will point out that the world there's never been a time of peace like the summer that Pokemon Go came out, summer 2016.
Since that summer.
And we're at another election cycle. They need to drop it this summer like, yo dog, we got a massive update. All the Pokemon who have existed are available. It's weird that the National Dex exists in Pokemon Go, but whatever. We got some Sword and Shield Pokemon for y'all. Level cap's been raised to, let's say, not 60, but 70. All new, like, everybody gets, like, an XP boost for, I don't know, some amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Help you get, like, 10, like, if you're at level 40, you get, like, 10 levels almost for free. So it's basically just, like, 20 level boost, but, like, whatever. People can get at like level 0 through 10, and you'd be like, "Yo, we got all these features, dog," and people will be playing, swarming again, trying to recover that magic of when we all were young.
We're 100 years younger than we currently are.
It was like 100 years ago when this game came out, right? Like,
yeah, approximately. So now the only thing that like I'm really craving that would be great, and I'm not sure what back end stuff this would interfere with this, but I really think, like, so right now you can only trade with your friends if they are physically in proximity to you. And I think that if they rolled out being able to trade, like, even, so, like, you have to, like, build up, like, I think it's, like, great friend, best friend, ultra friend, lucky friend, or something like that. So, like, when you get to best friend, which is the top tier of, like, you've been trading gifts for, like, 100 days or something like that, like, even if it was just people who were best friends who could trade over long distances, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Because like right now I think that it's locked. Yeah, you have to be ultra friend or higher to do remote battles.
Ultra friend. So
I feel like you should also be able to do remote trades at a higher level, and maybe they've rolled that out, and I was unaware of it, but I haven't been able to do that with people, so, or I haven't seen an update that told me that I could do that, so fingers crossed for the future.
Fingers crossed. Is that it?
Anything else? That's all I've got.
I mean, unless you want to mention the Grammys.
Oh yeah, tell me about the Grammys. Tell me things.
Billie Eilish cleaned up the 4 major categories, so props to her. Who I absolutely love as a celebrity. I don't really bang with her music like that. It's not my style. I'm getting old.
Mm-hmm.
But I love how much like she pisses off like old heads. So that's cool.
Yeah, I agree.
But she got like album of the year, record of the year, I want to say song of the year, and then best new artist. So that's I think she's the first woman to ever get like the big 4.
Nice.
Lizzo got she got a best pop solo. Best pop duo went to Old Town Road, which is nice.
Excellent.
I don't know if you saw any of the performances on YouTube, but
I watched. My mom sent me Demi Lovato's and Tyler the Creator's.
I heard Demi's was very nice.
It was very emotional.
Tyler got best rap album, which is, again, I just have to smile from the journey this man has had from being like hardcore edgelord in 2008 to being like oh no, I'm this queer dude making this really nice music, like it's like good rap, like I have a Grammy now. It's like, who would have thought in 2008 like Tyler Creator would get a Grammy? Like I would hope, but I never would have thought like damn, the Academy is hard to, like, they can't have to recognize it. The fashion was on point, a lot of Power Rangers vibes, but that's the Old Town Road performance was very good. Started with Lil Nas X, obviously, then he did his portion, then he like walked like through a door as on a rotating stage, and then BTS was there because rap
did the Soul Town Road.
Yeah, But all of BTS was there, not just Rap Monster, which I guess was, if you're gonna fly him out, you might as well get the whole group to do like background stuff. They did a little bit of choreography. It's very nice. And then he does another verse, and then I think it's when like the Billy Ray Cyrus portion happens, and he looks like he's having a good time. It looks like Willie Nelson now. And then like the little yodeling kid comes out and does his verse, which I forgot that he did a verse on one of the remixes.
Yeah.
And then he goes into a song Rodeo, and then Nas comes out, like the original Nas. And he's like Big Nas and Lil Nas, and everyone's like, "You're not Big Nas, just be Nas." Like, yeah, it's Nas and Lil Nas X. It's like, this is really cool to see.
Uh-huh.
Which you could tell, like, a lot of people didn't know who Nas is, which is a shame because he's a very influential rapper, but, like, times change and crowds change. So, like, there was, like, a few woos when he came out, but it wasn't, like, this massive, like, it wasn't the big deal that it should have been. But, you know, a lot of awards went out. It's just the Grammys. So, I didn't watch it, but I heard about it. It seemed like it was a pretty good show. No one seems pretty pissed off about anything.
Yeah. Did you see, by the way, speaking of the big game and Lil Nas X, did you see the Doritos commercial he and Billy Ray Cyrus did?
No, I saw him post it, but I didn't see it.
I watched it because here I am, being a person on the internet, and it was, not to be capitalist trash, but it was enjoyable.
Hey, that's all good. I mean, we got a bunch of,
funny.
like trailers and commercials coming out. Do we do a recap show about this stuff?
I'm gonna go with no because I'm lazy about watching things.
That's fair. Me too. Listeners, if you care to hear anything about that, send us some stuff that we'll watch, but if not, that's fine.
That too.
But besides that, I mean, I think we crushed it. Nice full episode.
That's all the things.
I mean, yeah, that's all the things. I think we did another good episode. It wasn't terribly long. Do we want to hit the people with some social media business?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
You wanna hand this to the people?
Yeah, I got it.
Hell yeah.
So, if you want to find us out in the world on the internet, you can do that thing. You can find our podcast out there at characterreveal.simplecast.fm. You can find it on Facebook at Character Reveal. You can find it on Twitter at Character Rev. It's character REV, no spaces, 2 R's in the middle. You can find us on Instagram at Character Reveal. You can find me anywhere on the internet with a variety of screen names. Captain Steph on Twitter, The Snow Queer on Tumblr, Hella Steph on Instagram. You can find Dom anywhere on the internet with one screen name, and that is Brother Dom.
Everywhere.
It's A, not a hard E-R.
Yeah, just brother. It's all good. Just able to be relaxed.
But
we're at a lot of places, right? We went over.
Yeah.
Did we go over that?
No, but you can listen to us if you don't want to listen to us in a browser. You can listen to us on iTunes. You can listen to us on Spotify. You can listen to us on Stitcher, on Google Play Podcasts, on the third-party podcast catcher of your choice.
And hell yeah, we're on YouTube too.
Oh heck, yeah, we are.
I didn't know we were on Spotify, but I keep forgetting. I mean, yeah, we're on YouTube if you like to have videos up on your computer or on your phone instead of having a podcast thing. I've heard some people say that, and I totally get it. The visuals aren't really that great, but there's visuals there.
There sure are visuals. Oh, if you're going to listen to us on Apple Podcasts, you should leave a review and a rating. That'd be cool with you.
Leave us ratings anywhere you can. 5 stars obviously makes us feel good and look good, but any comments or critique would also help, so, you know.
Yeah.
Leave that too.
Cool, yeah, check us out. Give us a thumbs up on YouTube. Is that a thing you can do? A like to our videos?
On Google? I don't...
Well, on YouTube, can't you do like a there's likes versus dislikes ratios?
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, smash that subscribe button.
But other than that, yeah, I don't know if there's anything else you can do. I think comments, honestly, thumbs up and thumbs down both helps. They consider it engagement. Thumbs up make us look better and feel better, but thumbs down is still going to make people say, oh, hey, this has been interacted with. When Gillette got all those thumbs down on their commercial, I don't think anyone lost any sleep over it. In fact, they were probably jazzed. They're like, if people are coming here just a thumbs down, that's just as good too. But yeah, comments and engagement really help. Tell your friends. But I think we did another episode, Steffi.
We sure did.
Steffi A for Amaterasu.
A for Amaterasu, that's me.
It is you. Listeners, thanks so much for rocking with us on another episode. We really appreciate it. Glad y'all are sticking here with us. And until next time, see you later.
Bye.